Hi guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This will probably be my first ever official YouTube video, which is so fun. Technically, I did already film a YouTube video, but I accidentally filmed it vertical instead of horizontal. So you might eventually get the video, but it just will be kind of corrupted. So I was trying to think of what I wanted to make my first video be. And if you don't know me, I have a Bookstagram account. That's where I started. And a lot of people always ask me for my bookshelf tour, and I've tried to film a few, but they're all way too long for Instagram. So I thought, what better first YouTube video would there be than a bookshelf tour? So as you can tell, my bookshelves are behind me, but I think we're going to start at the other side of the room, so let me take you there. So first, this is my romance shelf. So let's start at the top. So we have the Magnolia Park series because I have not read these, but they are so cute and I love the way they look. And I'm really excited to read them. And then also on top, we have this gorgeous edition of Little Women that my sister got me for Valentine's Day last year. And then we have this gorgeous plant. I love plants. If you know me, you know I love anything with plants. So hanging plants, just plants in general. And then we have all the Summer I Turned Pretty and Two Other Boys I Loved Before, so Jenny Han, because that was kind of the only place I could find that fit them. And then moving down to the next shelf, we have all the Lynn Painter, so her adult and her YA, this cute little pink tree, and then I have my hardcover copy of Nothing Like the Movies that I got when it first came out, my copy of Fake Skating, and then also this is a signed copy of Fake Skating. And then we have Behind the Leaves, all the Sarah Adams. I have only read One in Rome. I have to read more of hers. I know I have a lot of friends who love her stuff. And then here is the Emily Henry section. Once again, I've only read People We Meet on Vacation, but these are all the ones I've had or found thrifting. And of course, we have this gorgeous special edition. I am in love with it. And then the next shelf down, we have this cute little romance road sign and this cute little pink house. These are all my Catherine Center books. K.L. Walther, I haven't read much of her stuff. Christina Lauren, Ashley Poston, Sophie Cousins. And then this, I didn't have room for it, so it's just sitting at the top for right now, but we're gonna ignore that. And then next shelf, I have a lot of decorations. I have these fake poppies, this cute sign, and then also this sign that I just got for Christmas. I have behind here Emma Lord, Allie Hazelwood, Annabelle Monaghan, Carly Fortune, Casey West. So these are kind of just like misc. And if you go down here, I have everything propped up on a shelf, but then these are just some extra books. So I have Abby Jimenez and then a few miscellaneous books. And then next shelf down, we have Juliana Smith. These are a few like misc books as well. This is my favorite romance book ever. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend. I was fortunate enough to find this special edition secondhand. I missed the deadline for it first, but I have a Flora and Fletcher candle that came with it, Drawn Together, which is like my insanely tabbed copy. So yeah. And then we have Anne Liang. I've only read these two of her books, but her books are so good. This one was Infinity Stars, this one was 5 stars, and so I totally recommend it. I definitely need to read more of her stuff. And then these are just kind of like miscellaneous extra things. I have a few hockey romances here and such. And then bottom shelf, I have Binding 13 stuff. I have kind of like some sad, emotional books, and then a few not. Like this is definitely not, and I don't think this is either. But like Rebecca Yarros, I've heard her books are super sad, especially this one. And then I have just some like miscellaneous stuff here, including some Taylor Jenkins Reid, Rebecca Searle, and all those type of things. So yeah, that's the romance shelf. Next, we're moving on to the fantasy/dystopian shelf. So starting at the top, I have some of these gorgeous sprayed edges and then also a book tracker. This is so cute. My sister got it for me for Christmas from Etsy, and so I have all the extra numbers right here. I have the Books A Million edition of Throne of Glass. I love this edition so much. It is gorgeous, and because look at the back. If you don't know, I'm obsessed with Sam Cortland. I'm obsessed with Throne of Glass, so yeah. You will see that when I show my extra shelf because there's a lot of copies of Throne of Glass. These are just my personal reading paperback ones that have all my tabs and annotations and stuff like that. And then these are the newest addition to my books collection. I adore this series, and I had to get these dust jackets. They look how stunning they are. I love Sylvia and Aaron so much. So those are on full display, and I can see them directly from my reading spot on my bed. So I'm so happy about that. And then we just have this cute little plant here. And then if you go down to the shelf, I have this miscellaneous Fantasy, and then all the Shatter Me universe books. I have Mary Pearson books. I've only read Dance of Thieves. I didn't really like it that much, but I also hadn't read these ones yet. So I'm gonna read these ones and then reread Dance of Thieves. And then I have some miscellaneous stuff, the Just Odd Air, Just Odd Crown. These are my annotated copies. And then I have Marissa Meyer. I've only read Heartless by her, but I really want to get into more of the other stuff. So I definitely want to read the Lunar Chronicle series. It's been on my TBR for so long, and I own it, so I'm like, why have I not read it yet? But anyway, that's that. And then next shelf down, we have a random fantasy book, a Night Circus arc that I found at the thrift store, and then Harry Potter. I need to do a Harry Potter reread. And then I also found this Harry Potter book at the thrift store. It's a first edition Half-Blood Prince, so that's pretty cool. And then we have Marie Lu, or just kind of like dystopian-ish. I have Legend. I've heard so much about the series. It has been on my TBR once again forever, but I just haven't read it. And then The Darkest Minds, then Percy Jackson. I'm actually reading Percy Jackson for the first time. I'm gonna start book 3 today, and I'm so excited. I love it so much. I'm fully obsessed now. And then if you look here, we have Divergent. I found the UK covers at the thrift store. The stickers are still on them, so ignore that. But I need to find the first one so it all matches. But other than that, they all look so gorgeous. And we have Matched. I've only read book 1, but I need to continue the series. And here are my Hunger Games copies. These are just like my normal personal ones. Oh, I hate how Sunrise on the Reaping is a hardcover. But then I found the UK ones at the thrift store. And then I found these ones, which are like the foil covers. But unfortunately, they didn't have book 1, so I'm missing that, and they're kind of just stacked right there for right now. And then this random book with cool sprayed edges, so yeah. And then we have some sci-fi fantasy-ish. I have Red Rising. I haven't even read Red Rising yet, but I found this at a used bookstore and it's signed, so I bought that. And then if you go down again, we have my Jennifer Lynn Barnes, my Holly Jackson, kind of just all the mystery books. One of Us is Lying, a few things, and then some sci-fi and The Maze Runner right here. And then all the way at the bottom is kind of just like miscellaneous. This was kind of like my mismatched area, so I have just some random historical fiction, stuff like that. And then I have some Kristen Hanna. And also, if you are a Christian girly like me, these are such a good series and good for like anyone of all ages. And then also, I'm really planning on reading this winter. I've heard such good things about it. And then next shelf is also a kind of Misk fantasy shelf, but we have to talk about these gorgeous Throne of Glass dust jackets from Carrington Moore Studio. As soon as she announced these, I'm like, I need them because she made paintings for each book. They are so stunning. I will never shut up about them. This was my favorite artwork. I saw it and I knew I needed it. It's like, oh, it just encompasses the book so well. And there's also like quotes on the back of all of them, and it has gorgeous foiling, and then the end papers are also art. So I love these so much. Definitely check out her art in her shop. And then I kind of just put these here for now. These are Christmas romance books. We're just gonna ignore that, but they're standing behind there because I don't have anywhere else to put them. And then next we have just some random fantasy. This is actually, I think it's an arc. I found it at the thrift store and I didn't realize, so that's pretty cool. I have The Stolen Heir, The Coldest Girl in Cold Town, just like some kind of like Holly Black, and then we have some Misk, and including the Selection. This is also an arc of The Elite. I found that at the thrift store. My thrift store is insane. And then I also found, I forget what version this is. Let me see if I can find it. It is a Fairy Loot exclusive version of Twin Crowns, and I thought it was gorgeous, so I bought it. And then we just kind of have some miscellaneous fantasy here. And then at the bottom, we have the Shadowhunter series. I have yet to read this. I really want to, but it is just so long and so intimidating, so I have yet to start it. If you have read this series and loved it, please convince me in the comments. And then we have some more stuff, and then just some more miscellaneous stuff, including this cute little turtle holder with some fake flowers in it. And then this is my main fantasy shelf. As you can tell, I have the little sign that says Fantasy Lane. And Ember and the Ashes. I adore the series. It's so underrated. And then I also found an arc of An Ember and the Ashes at the thrift store once again. And then we have Leigh Bardugo. I have yet to read this series, but I've heard good things. And then Assistant to the Villain series, and then a few like miscellaneous series that I feel like looked well together. I have not read any of those yet either. And then next, ignore the battery pack. It's for the fairy lights on my shelf. I have my personal copies of the Powerless series, the ones that I've annotated and stuff. If you don't know, the Powerless series started my love for reading. You'll see all my special edition copies on the next shelf. Alchemize, this book I want to read, but it's also very intimidating to me. The Night in the Mob. Absolutely adore this book. And I've yet to read Air because I'm kind of waiting for book 2 to come out, and also I'm not really ready for the heartbreak that comes in Saba's writing. She destroys her characters, and I will never forgive her for destroying some of my favorite characters, but it's okay. And then Light Lark series. And then we move down, we have this cute little tree, and behind it we have all the Holly Black. This is just my annotated copies of the Cruel Prince series, and then I haven't read these yet, but I'm really excited too because I love the world of Elfhame. Have some Carissa Broadbent right here. One Dark Window, love this series. Spark of the Everflame. This is my copy of Iron Flame that I read and annotated, but I have the new copy that's like the dark version paperback one. And then I also have this Woven Kingdom. I still have to read this one. I've heard such good things. And then we have the Waterstones edition of Fearless. I love this dust jacket, but it's also so stunning without the dust jacket. Let me see if I can take it off. Yeah, it's so stunning. I had to buy it because it's just too good. And then we come down to this shelf. This is kind of just miscellaneous stuff. This one has been on my TBR for so long, and I'm definitely going to try and get to it this year. Also, this one sounds so good. I'm planning on reading that this year as well. So just some pretty books. I try to go kind of by color. So these ones are all kind of like pink and red. But this one kind of doesn't match because I wanted to keep it next to this one. And I found this at the thrift store. You'll hear me say that a lot. And it's also signed. So yeah. And then we have some blue books. Revenant Games, super underrated duology. I love Heartless Hunter and The Prison Healer. And then we have some Rebecca Ross here, and then this is just like extra. And this is a bottom shelf. It's kind of hard to see. We have The Will and the Many. That has been on my TBR for so long. I don't know why I haven't read it yet. And then we have Red Queen, Belladonna, and then just a few other miscellaneous books. And then last but not least, we have my favorite shelf, which is my special edition display shelf. So starting at the top, we have all my Six of Crows. We have the Dregs edition, the current covers. I wanted to get this cover because I found it for like $1 or I don't even know, $5 maybe at a local bookstore. And this is the cover that they had when I got it from the library and read it for the first time. So it's just a special place in my heart. And then we have the Book of Azrael. I haven't read this yet, and it's not really shouldn't be on this shelf, but it's the only place I could put it. And then I also have this first edition Crooked Kingdom that I found at the thrift store, but there's no dust jacket. And then here is my Barnes & Noble exclusive edition of the Powerless series. I have an indie paperback of Powerless, and then these are the bookish box editions of Powerless. They are so stunning. Ignore that copy of Fearless behind it. That's an extra copy. And then I have this edition that just came out recently. This is the Waterstones Deluxe edition. And then next shelf down, we have the Cruel Prince and Wicked King editions. We have Fourth Wing, like the paperbacks I was talking about. And I also just found the holiday edition of Fourth Wing at Second and Charles when I went, so I bought that. And then the Barnes & Noble editions of the Cruel Prince. I specifically just wanted the Queen of Nothing one because it has Cardan's letters in it. I just got all of the set, and I actually just found this one at Second and Charles too. So now I have a complete collection, and it looks so good. This is kind of like my dark shelf, if you can tell. I have a dragon up there for Fourth Wing, the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition of The Night and the Moth that is signed, this cute little fairy sign and fairy house. And then this is so cute. I won a giveaway for a custom rebind, and this is The Night and the Moth. I will add her Instagram right here if you want to check out her shop, but it is so pretty. Look at it. And then we have a signed special edition version of Air by Saba Tahir. And then next, this is my Powerless shelf. This is the Owl Crate exclusive editions of Powerless, and they are so stunning. These are probably some of my favorite special editions. And then we have Kai and Peyton Funko Pops. I still need to figure out a better way to organize them. And then we have the Target exclusive edition of Powerless with the new sprayed edges, and then a signed special edition of Assistant to the Villain. And then next, this is probably my prized possession shelf. These took forever to collect. I'm a major Throne of Glass fan, so this is, oh my gosh. So I originally just wanted to collect the paperbacks, so that took a while to collect all of them, but I'm so happy. And then I cannot believe it. I found this at the thrift store. So I think a local library was getting rid of all their older books. And so they donated a bunch of the Throne of Glass OG hardcovers, including this. So they all had library binding that I had to remove, but it looks so good. And this is so rare. I'm so glad to have it in my collection, and I'm glad, I'm so happy to have it. And then I wasn't going to collect the hardcovers, but I found Crown of Midnight, Air of Fire, Queen of Shadows, Empire Storms, and Kingdom of Ash all at the thrift store. So I decided just to get the Assassin's Blade, Throne of Glass, and Tower of Dawn to complete the set, and then we have the collector's edition of Throne of Glass right here. And then lastly, the shelf isn't organized that amazingly, but we have some original covers of ACOTAR. I also found this one. I actually found all three of these at the thrift store. This is a art of Crescent City. Let me take it out and show you. I literally screamed when I saw this. I didn't even know Sarah J. Maas had arcs. And then we have the indie covers of Daughter of No Worlds. I'm in the middle of that series. I read book 1 and I absolutely loved it, but I still have to continue the series. And then we have Crescent City. I have this crocheted bat that my coworker made, and it's so cute, and I thought I have to put it with the ACOTAR section. So then here's all my tabbed copies of ACOTAR, the collector's edition, and then we have, I don't know why he's here, or why this is here. I just have to find a better place for it, and I haven't yet. But yeah, that's my bookshelf tour. I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry if that was kind of long. I tried to make it quick, but also descriptive. And so now you guys can finally stop asking me for a bookshelf tour because I have done one now. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions or any other video ideas you'd like to see me make, please leave them in the comments down below. Love you guys so much. Thanks for watching.